So, in previous class, we started the first point of your syllabus. That is, please all of you mute your mobile phones. Sadanand, mute madre mobile phone. So, last class we started the first paper syllabus point, that is the history and chronological development of the Rasa Shastra. So in the previous class we discussed on Rasa Shastra and what is the meaning of Rasa and what is the Shastra, then what are the difference between Rasa Shastra and Ayurveda, and why Rasa Shastra is not included under Ashtangas of Ayurveda, and what is the definition of Rasa Shastra, what is the meaning of Rasa and Shastra. Okay, so today we'll continue with the Rasa Shastra Prayojana. So why Rasa Shastra has become more important after the 7th century. So here these Rasaushadis especially, they have maximum therapeutic benefits, and mainly because of their Rasayana property, they are started using widely after 7th century. As these Rasaushadis, they have the capacity to control each and every disease, even they were useful in chronic conditions. So these Rasaushadis can be used as, means they replaces the Kastoshadis, isn't it? Because the dosage of the Kastoshadi is more than Rasaushadi. Generally the Kastoshadi, for example, Panchavida Kashaya Kalpana, where the dosage is minimum of 1 pala matra, that is 1 tola to 1 pala, that is 12 gram to 48 grams. But if we consider the dose of the Rasaushadi, where the dose is very less. So these Rasaushadi, they replaces the Kastoshadi. So that's what Rasaushadis are considered as superior. And the another benefit of the Rasaushadi is here the dosage form is very less. So because of this less dosage form, these Rasaushadis got that much of popularity. And the next point is because of their long shelf life, as the Bhasmas are considered as the shelf life of infinity period. So that's what these Rasaushadis they considered as superior. And because of their quick action, because of their tastelessness, and because of maximum therapeutic benefits, and as these Rasaushadis are used in chronic disease conditions, so that's what this Rasaushadi Chikitsa is considered as superior after the 7th century. So there are few references regarding the importance of Rasa Shastra and importance of Rasaushadi. So I think already we discussed on these two shlokas, that is Dharmartha Upaboganam Nasta Rajya Vyurudhaye Ayuhu Yavana Labhartam Muktyartam Cha Mumukshana. So this shloka is from Rasa Upanishad. So here this shloka mainly highlights regarding the Lohavada and Dehavada. The first shloka is related with the Lohavada, that is improving the wealth of the country by using mercury with Lohavada concept, that is Dharmartha Upaboganam Nastaraja Vivruddhaye. And the second line is related with the Dehavada concept, that is Ayuhu Yavana Labhartam Muktyartam Cha Mumukshana. Then for the same concept, that is the Rasa Shastra Prayojana, the another reference is from Sarvadarshana Sangraha. So Sarvadarshana Sangraha was even named as Raseshwara Darshana, which was written by Acharya Sayana Madhava. Nacha Rasa Shastram Dhatu Adartam Eva Iti Matavyam Deha Vedadvara Muktireva Parama Prayojanatva. So here the meaning is Rasa Shastra is not only is meant for the Dhatu Vada, that is a Loha Vada, but attaining the Jivana Mukti through the Deha Vada is the prime Prayojana of Rasa Shastra. So other than these two shlokas, the remaining shlokas for importance of Rasaushadi are, so I think already have added these shlokas, that is importance of Rasa Shastra, Asuri, Manushi, Daivi Chikitsa, Trivida Mataha, Shastraihi, Kashayahi, Lohadehi, Kramena Antya, Supojita. So the Trivida Chikitsas are Asuri Chikitsa, which can be considered as Shraddha Chikitsa, Manusha Chikitsa, which can be considered as general medicine or the treatment which is given through the Kastaushadis, and the Daivi Chikitsa, which is where the treatment is given with the help of Rasaushadhis are the Rasabhismas. So out of these three, Shastraihi, Kashayahi, Lohadehi, Kramena Antya Sudhichita. So the last one, that is the treatment which is done with the Rasaushadhis, which is named as Daivi Chikitsa, is considered as superior. Yeah. And the another shloka for the importance of Rasavaidya, that is Uttamo Rasavaidyastu Madhyamo Mulikadibihi Adamaha Shastra Dahabyam Ityam Vaidyaha Trida Mata. So here our acharyas, they quote three types of Vaidyas, Uttama Vaidya, Madhyama Vaidya and Adama Vaidya. So here Rasa Vaidya is considered as Uttama, the Mulika Vaidya is considered as Madhyama, and Shastra Dahabhyam, the person who uses Yantra Shastras, is considered as Adama, or the inferior. Here. So these shlokas are only restricted to the Rasashastra point of view. Okay. Then the another point regarding the Rasashastra is who is the eligible person to learn this Rasashastra. So already these points are covered in undergraduation level and even in first year PG also. Rasashastram Pradatavyam Vipranam Dharma Hetave Raje Vaishayam Rudyartham Dasyartham Itarascha. So here meaning is, so in the ancient day, our society was divided based on Chaturvida Varnas, that is the Vipra, that is the Brahmanas, then Vaishyas, the businessmen, then the Raja Purushas, that is the Kshatriyas, and the Shudras. So based on this Chaturvida Varna, based on their activities or based on their karma, these Chaturvida Varnas are made in those days. So totally this concept is based on karma only. For example, Vipra, the Brahmana means the karmataha Brahmana, the person who performs the holy, performs the puja, havana and all, or the person who is having goodwill towards the society is considered as Brahmana, karmataha Brahmana. So Rasashastram Pradatavyam Vipranam Dharma Hetave, to maintain the rituals and the righteousness in the society, the Rasashastras should be learned by the Brahmanas. Then Raje Vaishayam, the Kshatriyas and the Vaishyas should be learned this Rasashastra to maintain the goodwill of the society, to maintain the wealth of the society. Dasyartham Itarasya. The remaining people should learn the Rasashastra to assist the Rasa Vaidya during the processing of mercury. So basically this shloka is from Rasaratna Samuchaya, 6th chapter, 69th shloka. Okay, so it's regarding the importance of Rasashastra and Rasaushadhis. Okay, and the next point is regarding the definition and etymology of the Rasa. As you know, the definition of Rasa, that is Rasanat Sarvadhatunam iti Rasa iti abhidiyate Rasati Bhakshayati Sarvan Lohan iti Rasa. So why the mercury is named as Rasa? Because as it amalgamates and absorbs each and every metal which is added to it, is named as Rasa. And the another meaning of the Rasa is, that is according to Sharira Kriya, as you know, that is Rasati Ahar Ahar Gacchati iti Rasa. The Rasa is the Rasa Adya Dhatu, that is the Rasa Dhatu, which has continuous movement in the body, or the Srotasas. This shloka is from Sushruta Sutrasthana, 14th chapter. Rasati Ahar Ahar Gacchati iti Rasa. And the third one is according to Bhaishya Kalpana, where Rasa is defined as Rasati Sharire Ashuhu Prasarati iti Rasa. That is a Swarasa, or the self extracted juice of a freshly collected herb is named as Rasa, or the Swarasa, according to Bhaishya Kalpana. And the third one is according to Dravyaguna Shastra, Rasa, it indicates the Shad Rasa, that is the taste, Rasyate, Aswadyate, Rasanaya, Rasanendriyena iti Rasa, or Rasyate, Aswadyate iti Rasa. Or you can quote the shloka, that is a Rasanartho Rasa, Rasanendriya Grahyo Rasa. These are the number of shlokas are there for Rasa. Okay, so basically, as quoted in Shastras, Rasa means it has wide range of meanings. That is, Raso, Jalo, Raso, Harshaha, Rasaha, Shungaradi Purvaka. Swadvadishu cha Niryase, Paradeyapi, Raso, Vishaha. So Rasa, it has number of meanings. So if we consider in general, Rasa, even Jala is also named as Rasa. Even the happiness is also named as Rasa. Even Shrungaradi Navarasas, if we consider the Sangita Shastra, where Shrungaradi Navarasas are also considered as Rasa. Even Madhuradi Shat Rasas are there. Even the essence of a tree, that is a Niryas, the secretion of the tree is also considered as Rasa. And Parada is considered as Rasa. And even the Vatsanava Visha is also sometimes named as Rasa. So these are the different meanings which are quoted for the Rasa. And as per the Rasa Shastra, so here Rasa means the mercury which has the capacity to amalgamate and assimilate the dravyas which are being added in it. Clear? That is Rasana Sarvadhatunam Rasa iti abhidhiyate. So this completes the introductory part of Rasa Shastra and the importance of the Rasa Shastra and Rasaushadhi. So next we will move on to the historical review of the Rasa Shastra. So in the historical review of the Rasa Shastra, so generally the historical review, it starts with the Prak Aitihasika Kala. So Prak Aitihasika Kala means the before the historical period. So where our civilization started with Pashana Yuga. So after the Pashana Yuga, that is the Stone Age, the Dhatu Yuga was started. So in Dhatu Yuga, especially as per the references, if we see in Dakshina Bharata, in the southern part of the India, the Loha Yuga was started, and in the northern part of the India, the Tamra Yuga was started. So according to, means if we consider the Sampradayas, the southern part of the India is considered as Dravida Sampradaya and the northern part is considered as Arya Sampradayas. So generally we people comes under Dravida Sampradaya. If we see the Vedic references regarding the Rasa Shastra, so as we discussed in the last class, Lord Shiva is related with the Rasa Shastra as if you see the mythological origin of the mercury, as it is said to be originated from Lord Shiva only, the basic element of the Rasa Shastra, which is related with Lord Shiva. It is considered as the seminal fluid of Lord Shiva. So that's what, if we see the historical background of the Rasa Shastra, it starts with Lord Shiva only, where the salutation has been given to Lord Shiva with the shloka Pratamo Divyo Vishwaka. So the historical aspect of the Rasa Shastra is studied under the three headings. So even in the examination also, better you make your presentation in these three headings: Vedic period, Purana Kala, then Samhita Kala. Okay. So sometimes they may ask the chronological development of the Rasa Shastra in Samhita Kala only. Sometimes they may ask him only in Purana Kala only, or sometimes they may ask him Vedic Kala. So Vedic Kala means it covers the Chaturvedas. Purana Kala means it covers Ramayana, Mahabharata, Agni Purana, and Dharma Purana. And Samhita Kala includes the three Samhitas. So let us start with the Rigveda. So in Rigveda, so where we get number of references related with the Rasa Shastra. So references available regarding the metals as such: Tamra, Swarna, Kansya, where Tamra was named as Ayasa. So in Vedic period, the Tamra was named as Ayasa. So here Lohitayasa and Krishnayasa, we will get two references regarding the Ayasa, that is Lohitayasa and Krishnayasa. So here Lohitayasa is, that is a red color, that is the copper, and Krishnayasa is black color, that is the iron. Okay. So in relation with the Ashwini Kumaras, so here in Rigveda we get reference that their Ratha, the Ratha, that is the chariot of Ashwini Kumaras, was made up of Tridhatu, and it is having Madhuvarna, and which is covered with Hiranya. Hiranya means the gold. So actually, as per the reference is quoted, Hiranyatwak Yukta. Their chariot was, it is covered with, it is laminated with golden ships. That is a Hiranya Twak Yukta. So here we get these references regarding the metals and minerals available in Rigveda. And even related to the Ashwini Kumaras, so we get the reference regarding the description about the replacement of lost leg of Vishpala with a lightweighted metal. I think you have studied in first year Ayurveda Itihas also. And even we get the reference regarding the Dhatu Ratnamala. It's a textbook related with the Rasa Shastra, which was said to be written by Ashwini Kumaras. Okay, there is one book which is named as Dhatu Ratnamala, which is said to be written by Ashwini Kumaras. And even we get the reference regarding Mani Dharana in Rigveda. The same explanation is available in Yajurveda also. But here, along with the Tamra, Swarna, and Kansya, even we get the reference regarding the Sisa and Trapu also. So Sisa is, that is a leg, Trapu is Vanga, that is tip. Clear? And if you see the references of Rashastra in Atharvana Veda, so in Atharvana Veda, we get references regarding the Rajata, Swarna, Lohitayasa, Shamayasa, Sisa. Okay, the same thing is available in Atharvana Veda also. Additional point is the Sisa, and even we get the reference related with the treatment aspects. So especially Atharvana Veda is much concerned with the Ayurveda Shastra, as Ayurveda is the Upanga of Atharvana Veda. So in Atharvana Veda, we get maximum references related with the treatment aspects. As such, for Gandamala, they have used the Shankaleka. So Shanka powder was used for the application in Gandamala. And in Mutragata, in retention of the urine, they have used the Shalaka Prayoga for to drain the distended urinary bladder. So they have used the metal, that is a Shalaka. So Mutragata Shalaka was used. And in Apachiruna, Lavana Prayoga was done. Then for Shodhana and Ropana, Madhu Prayoga. So in those days, Madhu was used for Runa Ropaka and Runa Shodhaka. And even Anjana Mani Prayoga also available in Atharvana Veda as a Rakshogna, and even reference regarding the Mani Dharana is also available in Atharvana Veda. And mainly in Atharvana Veda, we get the reference regarding the Chaturvida Chikitsas, that is Atharvani Chikitsa, Angirasi Chikitsa, Daivi Chikitsa, and Manusha Chikitsa. So here, Daivi Chikitsa is considered as the Rasa Chikitsa. Here. So these points are just revision for you. It's already studied in first year post-graduation. I'm just revising these points as these points are there for your syllabus. Okay. So next comes the Purana Kala. So under the heading of Purana Kala, so here number of references are available in Ramayana and Mahabharata also. So in Ramayana, we get reference regarding the Mani Dharana as Rakshogna, and even the Dhatu Nirmita Shastras and Astras were used in Ramayana and even in Mahabharata Kala also. And Arka Shastra by Ravana. See, still it's a controversial one regarding the author of Arka Prakasha book, that is a Ravana. So even though in general consideration, so under the heading of Ramayana Kala, so we get reference regarding the Arka Shastra by Ravana. I think Ragini might be knowing much more regarding this Arka Prakasha of Ravana. Okay, I think she is not attending the class, so we'll discuss in the next class. So next one is regarding the references of Shastra in Mahabharata Kala, where we get the reference regarding the Kaula Sampradaya and Jarana, Varana, Uchatana, then regarding the Shastra Vidya, Mani Dharana, and even we get the reference regarding the Kritrima Swarna also available. So you might be knowing the story of Mahabharata when Arjuna marrying the sister of Lord Krishna, that is Subhadra. At that time, Lord Krishna has given this Kritrima Swarna, that is the artificial gold, to Arjuna in the name of dowry. So that reference is available in Mahabharata. Okay, so Lord Krishna, he has given the dowry of Kritrima Swarna to Arjuna during the marriage with the Subhadra. So that Swarna was not the actual Swarna. Actually, it was Rasavidya Swarna. That is the gold which was prepared with the help of Bharada by following Lohavada. So that's what he has used the word Kritrima Swarna. So reference regarding the Kritrima Swarna is available in Mahabharata. Okay. And next we see regarding the references of Rasa Shastra in Puranaka, that is Agni Purana and Garuda Purana. So where we get the references of Dhatu Basmas and even the therapeutic uses of these Rasoshadis in Pusta, Manashila, Hartala Lepa was used. And even we get the reference regarding the Ratna Utpatti and the Ratna Pariksha also. We'll get the reference in Agni Purana and Garuda Purana. And regarding the detailed description of Ratna as such guna, doshas, and the dharana and all, we get in Agni Purana. Then in Panduroga, Takran, Lohachurna was used, and in Tantaroga, Shingula Prayoga was dead. So these are the few references regarding the Rasa Shastra and Rasoshadis available in Purana Kal. Okay. And maximum references are available in Kautilya Shastra, Kautilya Artha Shastra regarding the Rasa Shastra. So in Kautilya Artha Shastra, so as you know, so there we get reference regarding the Khanija and Dhatu. So the first time the reference regarding the ore, that is the Khanija, is available in Kautilya Artha Shastra. So during the period of Gupta, that is a Gupta Kala, they were extracting the metal from minerals. So there we get the reference regarding Khanija and Dhatu. So here we get the detailed description, explanation regarding the Khanija and Dhatu. And even in those days for Muladravya, Muladravya means the ore. So they have used the word, instead of Khanija, they have used the word Muladravya. Muladravya means the ore. So the dhatu or the metal was extracted from Muladravya, that is the ore. Then in Kautilya Artha Shastra, we get reference regarding the Shulba Shastra. See, Shulba is the synonym quoted for copper. See, Gandhaka is named as Shulbari because so Gandhaka is used in the Bhasma preparation of Tamra. So that's what Gandhaka is named as Shulbari. Shulba is copper. So here in Kautilya Artha Shastra, we get reference regarding the Shulba Shastra, that is the study regarding the copper. And even we get reference regarding the Dhatu Shastra, Rasapaka and Manira. And even we get reference regarding the different mines also in Kautilya Artha Shastra, from where they were extracting the ores. Then Shodhana of Dhatu with Tikshna Mutra, Kshara, Aragvada, Gorochana, Mahisha, Khara, Ustra, Mutra and Purishes were used for Shodhana of Dhatus. Then marketing of gold was known as Vishika. So in those days, they were maintaining a separate market for the gold, which was named as Vishika. And even we get the reference regarding the Swarna Prapti by three methods, that is a Jatarupa Swarna, that is natural gold, Rasavidya Swarna, which is prepared out of mercury by following Lohavada, then Akarodgata, that is from ore. Okay, Akarodgata Swarna means which is extracted from the ore. Rasavidya Swarna means which is extracted from mercury or which is converted from the mercury. Jatarupa Swarna is the natural gold. And even we get reference regarding the Lohapeda, that is Kalayasa, Tamrarutaha, Kansya, Sisa, Trapu, Vaikrutaka Dhatu, and Arakuta. So here, if you have read Maharasa Varga, so in the historical review of the Vaikranta, that is a tourmaline, sir, where the first reference regarding the Vaikranta is available in Kautilya Arthashastra. So you might be studied in Maharasa Varga. So first reference regarding the Vaikranta, that is the Kuvajra, is available in Kautilya Arthashastra. And even in Kautilya Arthashastra, we get the reference regarding the knowledge about the Paradhan, Ingula, and even Ratna Pariksha and availability. The sources of Mukta is also available in Kautilya Arthashastra. If we see the previous references, so maximum references related with the Rasa Shastra are available in Kautilya Arthashastra. So even we get reference regarding the that Qutub Minar also. Okay. These are the few references available in Kautilya Arthashastra related with the Rasashastra. Yeah. So next we'll move on to Samhita Kala. So as it is a just revision, I am making a little bit fast in this concept. Clear? So it's okay, no problem, no, Nadav? Okay. So it's a just revision for you. Okay, already you know regarding these points. As a part of syllabus, I'm just revising the all points. So this part is more important as per your examination point of view. So let us see the references of Rasa Shastra available in Samhita Kala. First one is Charaka Samhita. So in Charaka Samhita, under the first chapter, in Dirganjiviti Adhyaya, where we get the reference regarding Dravya Vargikarana. So in Dravya Vargikarana, so where Acharya Charaka has quoted Udvida Dravya, Jangama Dravya, and Parthiva Dravya. So here Parthiva Dravya, it includes these metals and the minerals. So under the Parthiva Dravya, Acharya Charaka has included Suvarna, Rajata, Tamra, Trapu, Caesar, Loha, and also we get the reference regarding the minerals as such Manashila, Hartala, Mani, Lavana, Gairika, and Anjana. And even in Charaka, we get reference regarding the Ayaskriti. So previous class we discussed regarding the Ayaskriti. So Ayaskriti references is even available in Shushruta Samhita also. So before 7th century, our acharyas were using these rasadravyas in the form of minute amorphous powder. That procedure is named as Ayaskriti Nirmana. You might be knowing regarding the Navayasa Loha and Saptamrita Loha. So maximum references are available regarding the Ayaskritis in Charaka and even in Shushruta also, where Ayaskritis are prepared by following the method as such, heating and dipping the Loha Patras in Trifrakwata, Godugda, Gomutra, Lavana Jala, then Ingudi Kshara. So after converting the Loha into fine powder, then the fine powder of Loha is mixed with Amalaki Rasa and Madhu. Then it is given one bhavana and kept in Yavarashi for 1 year. So after 1 year, that Loha Churna was used as a medicine along with other herbal drugs. For example, the Navayasa Loha Churna. Nowadays in Navayasa Loha Churna, directly the Bhasma is used. But during the period of Charaka Samhita, where the Loha Churna was prepared by following this Ayaskriti Nirma. Yeah. Then these Rasaushadhis are even used for Rasayanartha. So in different yogas, Vanga, Caesar, Tamra, then Raupya, Krishnaloha, Swarna are used along with the Vacha, Madhu, Gairika, Grita, Vidanga, Pippali, Triflan, Lavana. So you might be knowing regarding the Swarna Prashna Samskara, where Swarna is used along with the Vacha or along with the Estimudu or along with the Shankha Pushpa. So here Dhatus are used for Rasayanartha. So number of references are available regarding this Rasayana property of this Dhatus. But remember, in those days, our Acharyas were using these metals and minerals in the form of fine amorphous powder by rubbing on a rubbing stone. So they don't know regarding the method of preparation of Bhasma before 7th century. After 7th century only, they have started preparing the Bhasmas by following Bhasmikarana or Maranaviti, as it is developed by Acharya Siddhanandaji. Clear? And even we get detailed description regarding the Shilajati in Charaka Samhita, Charaka Chikitsa in Rasayanapada, where we get the detailed description of Shilajatu. And even in Sutrasthana, we get the detailed description regarding the Manidharana for Visha Shamanartha. And in Charaka, for Dhatu Bhasmas, they have named them as Sukshma Churnas or the Rajas. Okay, Rajas means the fine amorphous powder of the metals and the minerals. See, for example, in Navayas Loha Churna Shloka, you might be batted the shloka. Have you batted the shloka of Navayas Loha Churna? Kasim? So you might be remembering that shloka that Navayo Rajaso Bhagaha, isn't it? Navayo Rajaso Bhagaha means where the fine amorphous powder of the loha was indicated, not the bus. Clear? So that churna was prepared by following Ayaskriti method. Okay. So number of references are available in Shushu Charaka. That is, a Loha Churna was used, then Mandura Churna was used, then Tamra Churna, then Swarna Churna, then Swarna Makshika Churna, Raupya Makshika Churna, Pravala Churna. So these references available in Charaka Samhita, in Chikitsa. Clear? And even Swarnadi and Mani Shodhana in Taila, Shela, Kacha was also described in Charaka Samhita regarding the Shodhana of metals and minerals. And in Chikitsa part, in Charaka Chikitsa, again we get number of references regarding the Rasoshadis, that is Muktadi Churna in Hikka, Shwasan, Kasa. Then in Raktapitta, Ratnan, Dhatus were used, and in Kushta, so mainly we get the reference regarding the Rasa, that is a Parad. So in Kushta Chikitsa, so the first reference is available regarding the external application of the Parada is available in Kushta Chikitsa, Charaka Chikitsa, 7th chapter, 71st shloka. Again here, the term rasa was used. Again, still it is controversial whether for the word rasa, whether we need to take it as a mercury or any other source. Okay. And in Kusta, Trapu, Sisa, Lohachurna, Manashila, Hartala, Kasisa were used. So remember the word Trapu. Trapu is the Vanga. Here, Sisa is Naga. Then Bastinetra. The Yantra Shastras are also were prepared with the metals in them. Sorry, metals. As such, Swarna, Rajata, Trapu, Tamra, Riti, and Kansya. Riti is Ashada. So Basti Netra was, so for the Basti Chikitsa we need Basti Netra. For Anjana we need the Anjana Shalaka. So all these were prepared with the help of metals. And even in Charaka we get the reference regarding the Pumsavana Samskara, where the Purushakrutis of metals, that is made up of Swarna or Rajata, were used for Nirvapana in Godukta. You might be knowing regarding the Pumsavana Samskara, where the golden or the silver Purushakritis or the any god or goddesses idols were heated on the gas stove till it become red hot. Then they are dipped in Godukta, and that Godukta was made to drink by the fish, especially in Pumsavana Samskara. Especially in Maharashtra region, they were practicing this. It is very popular in Maharashtra, isn't it, Pratik? In Pune and all, they were practicing Pumsavanal. Yes, last time there was an article published from Maharashtra, and even they have applied, they have gone to higher court for the controversy of this Pumsavana Samskara, and even they have planned, they have advised to ban the Charaka Samhita also. A lot of problems were there in Maharashtra regarding the Pumsavana Samskara. I think it seems to be in last year, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so these are the references which are available in Charaka Samhita. Okay, so the time is running out. So today we'll conclude today's class here only. In the next class, we will try to complete Sushruta Samhita and Ashtanga Hridaya. So once we complete Sushruta Samhita and Ashtanga Hridaya, then I think it will complete the first point of paper 1. Okay. So please try to prepare the notes. So as much as possible, try to refer each and every book. See, for history and all, please go through the Sushruta and Charaka Samhita. You turn the page by page and you sort out the references of Prasadravyas which are quoted in Charaka and Sushruta and even in Ashtanga. So you have to go through each and every page. Wherever you will get the any word related with the Rasu Shastra, you have to mark, you have to write it down, and even you have to write down the reference of the shloka with number and page number. Clear? So these points are helpful during your future academic curriculums. Okay. So shall we conclude class over here? Is there any doubts, Pratik? I think today Omkar is not attending the class, isn't it?
Is there?
I'm here, sir.
इधर ही हूँ
Omkar.
सर मैं.
Okay, Omkar. I'm sorry. I'm not. It is not visualizing in laptop. I'm very sorry. Okay. So please once again go through all the points. Please don't neglect the historical part. So historical part of the Rasya Shastra is the base for your post graduation, even in your future academic career. Okay. So shall I end the meeting over here?
Yes.
Okay, sir.
Yes sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay sir. Thank you sir.
Thank you.